다 그생도 야라 둔주고네 네 개와사야 다 디부샤야 디고 쉬제네 제 아니 델야 만데부야레 아니 님보도 쉬고네 아니 디바샤야레 내래 취유홀로고 소와데비야 냥알레 메데바 소와데비야 아니 개와 뭐야 디고야 시 사시 한쪽에 다 기위신 된주 원주고디 야 쉬사시 계신 쉬사래 나디는 좀 마셔야지 다 기위신 된주기 돈에 안다 델야 디고시야레.
Good evening. So last week we concluded looking at the skillful technique to accumulate virtue and to purify negativities, that of the seven limb prayer. So for the past few weeks we looked at the practices of making prostrations and offerings, confession of previously committed negativities, as well as rejoicing and requesting the teachers to teach the Dhamma, to remain with us, and the dedication of virtue. And that was presented as part of a larger practice, which is the introduction to relying on a spiritual teacher. And that's where we're going to start tonight, in how to rely on a spiritual teacher.
Lama Chikuore, Chesandi Lamati, Geshe Chesandini, and Lam Rim Text, go song the Tambo Corona, and give it in Tunzako Mashugor, Sungorwa, Chesandi Geshe.
So the actual Lam Rim, it starts with the presentation on how to rely on a spiritual teacher, and that's because whatever Dhamma practice we are going to engage in, we need to come to understand that practice and how to train in it, how to cultivate it within ourselves through a teacher. Without a teacher, that it will be difficult to do. So therefore, a Lama, a teacher, is seen as of particular importance, and therefore it's right at the beginning of the Lam Rim.
Lapkanji Kukuro, the Benzemosine, Lapkanji and Kukore, Hirosine, Lapkanji and Kukore, the Sherosine, Tawene, the Lapkanji and Kukura, the Kitchimbo, Chagorwa, and Yendi, Yaborish Mena, Zemoina, Da, She, Inada, the Yid and that, then Yendi Yaboch Machuena, the Lapkanti Kel of John, the Yabolio Mara, just like Yendi Kitchimbo, Chagorwa, down the Chitin, Giongita, Lego, some Trisha Jalada. Serving Tambola Kura, Gichimburwa, and Dinashing that Nang, some Lutoni, Juata, Jangazugi, some Denista by Nanganzuli, Yomo Chung, Dryata, and Yomo Meva, so some Denis Tanguri said, Denigan, Yomo Bazawan and Meva, so Dingy, the Otoyagia, Tablam Duncan Givishin, Tablam Dumbala, the Nigger Duncan, the Lama de Guadi, Gichimbu Chagorwada.
This is exactly the same in the world, in our everyday life. If one wants to develop a particular skill, perhaps whether it's in a sport or a recreational activity like learning to dance, one will rely on a skilled teacher to be able to develop this skill. Or certainly in terms of our academic qualifications and other skills in this world, we've come to learn them through relying on someone who is skilled and experienced, who has knowledge and experience in a particular area. So it works like this in our regular, in our daily life, in our worldly activities, and it's certainly like that in terms of our inner world. That we have this wish, or this wish to transform our inner world, our way of thinking. So to bring about a change in our way of thinking, to bring about a reduction in the strength of our afflicted minds and the eventual complete eradication of our afflicted minds, we need to be trained by someone who is knowledgeable and experienced in their inner development, in their spiritual development. So this is true in outer activities, and it's certainly the case with inner activities.
Dine inza shinyin de kichimure sa de ngan zu shinyin de zu go shere dine inza delia de tsitela den zu ngwe ni 제곰 요건이야 공부를 자디 수다다 신인진수 원예들이야 아니 냠는지도 간에 제고래서는 당보 아니 계위신이래 제곰체네 냠는 제고래 해서 지금 중도와.
Now we return to our text, so at the top of page 10. The best way to rely on a spiritual teacher is to practice analytical meditation upon his excellent qualities.
그래서 나디나네 근데 순거를 제가 내내 이제 먼저 람림 첨보다 되는 직 잔다 개와를 송요도 가서 순거라서는 계위신이 대비 패여 마딘비기 예믹세하다. 안에 계위신이 안 된수들이야. 안에 삼비고네 된수 안 주요고네 된수 되는 삼비고네 된바텔라야 자와 대바창와다. 안에 그든 지수 된비고네 된바세하다. 어디니기 안에 지금 사지로 순망보 가셔요 송거라다 디나데 되니게 사지디게 잠진의 송거 말고 가서는 곧 뒤로와.
Our text is the essence of refined gold. It's a very abbreviated Lam Rim presentation. In the larger Lam Rim texts, such as Lama Tsongkhapa's Great Lam Rim, then here at the beginning of this section, of this chapter, there will be a presentation on the great benefits that come through relying on a teacher, and the faults that will follow if one does not rely on a teacher. Thereafter comes how one should rely on a teacher through both thought and activity. So our text is much, much more abbreviated. So here we just see the reference to all the qualities of a teacher, just here briefly referred to in our first paragraph.
그래서 계위신이 고 송요도 안에 계위신이 안태가 침배 계위신이 천이 세르연데 안 주다 대바시 고고래 세시고래 안데 안지 계위신이 땡해 로마디기에 연대 가르치 마스 로메 연대 되니기 키치 숨남시다 대바시 고고래 세지 송고로와.
And this is where the presentation on the various qualities of a Mahayana teacher would be presented. So that's presented as 10 qualities that a teacher ideally should have, a Mahayana teacher should have. And thereafter the text would present the qualities that a student should develop. And that can be presented as 3 or as 5.
그래다 니니 계위신 된주 계위신의 챙이다 딩한주 그승이 마디와 내니 람림 테디에 뭔가 송으로와 그승 야 니들에 송여를 주여로와
But that's something we don't need to look at now, because actually it came up as several classes ago, where we looked at the qualities of a Mahayana teacher, and then in a following class, the qualities of a student.
자와 자야 되고 계위신이 자와 대바 자야 되래 대바 자야 고미야 되래 지산디 공부 간에서 공부를 당보 제공제 공부를 해송도와.
So seeing here, the best way to rely on a spiritual teacher is to practice analytical meditation. And as it continues to say, when one needs to reflect on the qualities of one's teacher, so as through analytical meditation, or through analytical meditation, in order to generate faith in his good qualities. So that's why our text starts out with this right at the beginning, because this is the technique or the method, so as to generate a solid foundation for faith in our teacher.
제공시디 두 삼다이로 디디레 마레사드 두 신은 제바 제공이야 되시고로 와데 제공세 되니기야 제바치네 온공고레 시고로.
This term analytical meditation, so it's a form of meditation that involves analysis or thinking, where one analyzes, this is how it is, this is how it isn't. So one's using an active mind, an analytical mind.
근데 제바 제들이야 안에 계위신이 어디 야고 계위신 디 야고라디 야고 말에 디 제야데 마 제바 제야데 말에.
But it doesn't mean that one is looking and saying, oh, this teacher is very good, this teacher not so good. That's not what it's referring to.
다들 제바 제야데 가르송로서는 라미기 연된디게 파 제바 제야데 다 직디도 앞에는 대양서 다 제바 제나 제om진의 검난 간에서 공부하세요. 대양 다기 빠는 라마 담바디 아니 디남 세드 다 라마 망보세요. 디남 세드 라마 소소라 라마 망보예나 세요 라마 망보디게 라마 지금 맨날 라마 지라와 디남 모두 탐지게 자와 인서 지상 모두 탐지게 자와 인 식디디다 당보
Reading on, the best way to rely on a spiritual teacher is to practice analytical meditation upon his excellent qualities and his beneficial function in your life. So this is what, so here it makes clear what one is analyzing, what one is investigating in one's meditation. It's not, oh, this teacher's so good and this one's no good, or amongst these four, this one's the best. Rather, what one is analyzing or thinking about is the qualities of one's teacher, or teachers if one has more than one teacher. And now in English it's a little different, but we can see in the second line of the second paragraph, one is doing this with the understanding that our teachers are the root of all attainments. So this is how we're relating to our spiritual teachers, and we're investigating their varying qualities with understanding that they are the root of all attainments.
Bendigo Lama damba dinam ngurup tamjige zawari sudida Lama diki ngurup tamjige zawasi de ngurup de sedela nganjogi jige tumo ngurup seada ani cho ngurup seada jige nganjogi done shedu ani tumo ngurup seada cho ngurup seada ya jige ngurup dela dinigi je chorwa jin chogo ngorupta tumo ngoro 지다가 ngorupla yede dandala khar yong선 라마치기 ngazo 치 냠는지에 림바치 뛰엔지 낭제 ngazo 라마 낭셰비기 냠는지에 소소야 dum레럽치기 퇴야죠와 딩모르브레 베네 라마치기 신에 ngazo 라마치잖아 신에 두타 자제 라마디 신에 두타 두수 장고서 담가지 제제 ngazo 신에 줍제 ngazo 그래 신에 제 신에리 규래 계속나 신의 이등에진디 모릅 최고로 되지 라마티기 신의 줍탕하지 뛰엔제 냠는 나다지 심반 낭제 대량도 냠는 제발에 때네 아주 제고 가르친 거로서네 딩에서 신의 기용으로 딩 모릅으로와 어디나신 당 모릅세도 갈 단다라 모릅라도 단다 가로서 라메게 담가지 나제 디 라메 담가 나와 시송제 소소소소 냠는 제어도 아주 귤라 연된지 깨야지로 어디 모릅래다 라메 모릅스가 되래
So let's look at this word here we have in the second line of the second paragraph. He is the root of all attainment. So this word attainment, or the Sanskrit word siddhi, this what does this mean? So we can understand it in different ways. They're common and uncommon siddhis or attainments. And we should understand it in terms of qualities that we give rise to in our mind. So for example, if someone has the wish to generate calm abiding, single-pointed concentration, then they would receive teachings and training and guidance on how to cultivate calm abiding within their continuum. And the teacher of calm abiding would guide them through the cultivation of this mind of calm abiding, and eventually, in dependence on the cause, which is the guidance from the teacher, the result of calm abiding would be attained. Calm abiding, it's a mind, and this mind is a siddhi. This mind is an attainment. So it's independence on the spiritual instructions from our teacher that we give rise to a result, namely a result which would be an attainment. And in this illustration, it would be the mind of calm abiding, and that would be a siddhi or an attainment.
직진 비용으로 써야다 지진에 대비용으로 써야다 안 투모용으로 단 초용으로 써야 돼 초용으로 써야 돼 상기고 방식으로 상기고 방 저기 상기 좀데 저기 라메기 냠는 나 장아들 자주선 잠니제 되는 스콤고래 안에 되네 안에 파진두기 냠는 두스 제고라서 라메가 나와라 되네 저 냠는 제네 냠는 제가도 당보 저 리아 가르치기를 세네 아니 지게 신내 라소바다 데니기 안에 잠바다 제와 인체를 기여도 돼서 GDP 오르고 책으로 와가서는 밥이 공강사 토요 말에 진짜 데네 조람다 조람게 돼서 람디게 찾아 오르래 라미 냠는 제게 람든 제발에 되는 거죠 냠는 제가 줄 똑바디게 와서 돼서 오르래 돼서 그래서 GDP 오르세야다 다 데니게 냠는 제는 밥이 람 고파 톱네 밥이 람 통람다 고람다 데니기 람디게 똑바디게 직된래 대비 오르세 책으로 거 밥을 람이는데 자고 아 내내 차네야 야 자네는 냠내진의 산지고방 토원도 타도 산지고방이 토원도 되네 총 오르세야 토야 책거래 진짜 총 오르세야 산지고방이 책거래 진짜 오르세야디 람 냠는 제발하기네 계획 또 보연된데는 오르세 고거다.
This word then, siddhi or attainment, we can we can divide it into three, so three differing types or classes rather, three different classes of attainments. We can say that those that are ordinary, those that are transcendent, and that which is the ultimate attainment. So perhaps we can say they are the ordinary attainments. So the word ordinary here should be understood in the way that these are attainments or siddhis in the mind of ordinary beings who are not yet Arya or noble beings. So beings who have attained the paths of accumulation or preparation, their various attainments or siddhis, those minds would be referred to as ordinary or worldly attainments. Then when they develop their qualities further, and they become Arya beings, and they attain the Arya paths of the paths of seeing and the paths of meditation, then the attainments that they attain, the siddhis they attain, these would be transcendent attainments. So those which have transcended the ordinary world, transcended the mundane. So that would be the second type or class, the second class of attainment. So we can say ordinary, or maybe ordinary, then the transcendent attainments. And then when the fifth path is attained, the path of normal training, Buddhahood itself, then the ultimate attainment is achieved. So that's the ultimate siddhi, the ultimate attainment, the supreme attainment, Buddhahood itself. So those are the three ways that we can understand attainments or siddhis.
투모 영어로 세치어와 투모 영어로라나 갈라고스네 베네 신이 주야 신이 줍딩해진 게디 말아서 낭발에 요래 낭바 많이 발에 신이 줍딩해진 거며 띵해진 게 요러와 안에 띵해진 거네 원시 주야당 안에 주주기 주야당 되네기 rik 망고요러와 대서 안에 말아서 낭발에 요래 낭발에 신발에 띵해진 줍제 원시 주야 신이 주야 용거래 요반자 친나니가라 띵해진 고미야당 신내당 안에 주주당 원시라서 여반자 디 투모 영어로서 올라가서 되네기 띵해진 거 띵해진디 아주 신내고 람미기 맹아라 때네 아주 신내고 띵해진 또바게 되네 아 띵해진 또바 되네기 람미 맹아라 때네 냠는 제세 안에 띵해진 디도네 안에 주주 투야당 안에 지금 원시 주야당 원시당 주주당 되네 띵해진 디게 안에 투모응으로 해서 투모응으로 해서 라고 가르스네 니나신 신의 주야당 원시당 안에 지게 수투지 직디게 안에 낭발의 신치료 발에 주요 여러와 여반자 투모응으로 말해 다 산지 고바디 저게 나야 안에 지게 낭발 지구마도 매반자 될야네 가서 초응 어렵세야지 디소라 투모 어렵세야지 지난 니가로 주요 예대 경기 내 람기 가서 또 왜 연된 디게를 투모 어렵세고다 디스 투모 어렵세야지라고 그래.
Another way to look at siddhis would be to divide them into common and uncommon. So those which would be considered common, here we should understand common to mean common to Buddhists and non-Buddhists. So that would involve the cultivation of single-pointed concentration or calm abiding, as well as independence on that, the development of clairvoyance and other kinds of particular skills that can be developed if one has single-pointed concentration. So these are are common in that they are common to both to both Buddhists and non-Buddhists. And then uncommon would be those that would be leading to the attainment of the supreme siddhi, the supreme attainment of Buddhahood itself. So those then are uncommon in that they are not shared. They are unique to Buddhists.
That jeva chene komnang garis kongorela na that disruat pen that bardo an chige kyo mango chilen bare de bardo koala korche deni sozukula lamgi yenden toba ke matwa da deni cha de pa chig lama ji ya ho chi ma den ba che lama chi ma den bi yin chene ane nga zo chue nyamle ya ho chi chung min wo san be ge da sam da de ro sam da che che sa chi ja lama ma den ba da lama chi nye ba yin ya an lama chi ne chue ya ho shi nyamle ma ji ba di yin yi da de ba do so so ya to bi yin da ka ya ke min che sa ko la ma ta wa che la ba di ye ma lama ma den ba lama nye na ya na lama ya ho ma den bi yin di je sha da deni gi 나라주글라 안치게 bene shine de lam nyamle je lam gyule kya ta ting yin de shine kom shine gyule kya cha sa lami gi su su nga zu le shine ju ta din de sa lam le te lami zen ne chu shu nyamle je ba le na nga zu gi le shine gi ku shine ju ya de ting ju ya yong du ji sa lami gi ma an ko wa le ya nge jung din ne ki wo din ne kom go le sa lami gi sung din ne lam le te ne lami sung sha ba de le nyamle je ba na nga zu le ko wa le nge jung kya ta an ko nge jung kya dene koala taduga samba ngechun samba ki dene dela digombala dene ngasola lam gyula ki de lam gyula ki du ni ya komne ko yana ya do kombala dene ngaso tarpada tamche ki me ko toptogudo 제가 dene ki yenden chasa jungade lama la dene yungudo 제가 lama ya ko che maten baina ngaso dene ki twenga lama che me baina ngaso din to ko yenden ki tu minu 제가 dene ki to ko yenden ki yenden chasa jungade zawa lama la dene yungudo samji dushene 제가 jene sam다 komya dela 제가 lama dene yung lama di bema sig yenden dene tu ngaso le ji pando dene jugen ze yenden da an kembe yenden yugen dene shesha sambe tu samda kom jeba jedu jin lama di lama ya deba kiya da di chagor 제가 dene za delya ngaso lamri chibe sachina an lama ma tembe nyemik sia da tembe panyun sia da an zawa deba kaso deba changso sia di nyamdu dina le ngorda.
Just first to say something that was said right at the beginning when we started looking at this text. The English and the Tibetan, the meaning matches, but often the order is not quite the same. So just to remind you of that, because now that will become more evident again. So now let's talk about, let's look a little bit further at what one should be analyzing when one is meditating on how to rely on a spiritual mentor, a spiritual teacher. So one first reminds oneself of how many lives one has circled, lost within the suffering realms of cyclic existence. And throughout this time, one has yet to either rely at all on a spiritual teacher, or if one has relied on a spiritual teacher previously, one didn't so correctly or make full use of that opportunity. And that we have in our text, but now a little further on, you'll find it there. So this is how we start to reflect, reminding ourselves that the reason that we remain bound within cyclic existence is because we haven't yet relied fully, if at all, on a spiritual teacher. Then furthermore, we meditate that all good qualities come about independent on relying on our teacher. It's through relying on a teacher that one's interest in the Buddha Dharma grows and develops, and all our qualities that we will develop in our continuum will come about independent on relying on a teacher. And it's through relying on our teacher we will come to understand the faults of cyclic existence and give rise to a wish to be freed of cyclic existence, give rise to this mind of definite emergence, this mind of renunciation where we renounce the sufferings of samsara. That comes about in dependence on a teacher, as does the training in how to cultivate single-pointed concentration and the actual attainment of that siddhi, of single-pointed concentration. And with single point concentration then, where we meditate with this powerful mind on definite emergence, we will then give rise to a path in our continuum, and we will attain a path in our continuum. And that only comes about in dependence on relying on a teacher. And thereafter, all the other qualities that we cultivate within ourselves that lead to the eventual attainment of liberation from suffering and enlightenment itself, all of these come about independent on relying on a teacher. So this is what some of what we meditate on here, where we see in the very first line that the best way to rely on a spiritual teacher is to practice analytical meditation upon his excellent qualities and his beneficial function in your spiritual life. So this here is outlined very briefly. In the larger Lam Rim Text, this will be spread out in the sections on the needs or the benefits that come from relying on a teacher and the faults that follow from not doing so.
di se de che de se ora chi se de gwa chi ma se ora da da nga zo che de da chi mi gi cha sa yuen den ge wi jung ye gi ge wi ge le jung ye ga cha sa da la ma le de yong gu du se yong gu re sa ji di ro ti se le che le so tam chi ge jung ne yin se.
And the Tibetan then continues that the source of all goodness in this and future lives is our spiritual friend, is our teacher.
내가 중국에서는 다 뒤로 와다 가는 중에 세대를 하는 중에 지금 담보 하라는 점로 해야 돼. 근데 지고래 잡수세 잡 저랑 간에 지고래서 점로고 섬당해도 니마 담보 나서를 genji 나서를 다 점로 해야 되는 데다. 아니 지 점로 제다 삼 점로 유디 잡유세 되는 데를 건조 숨세 잡유 되는데 제가 잡수 줘야라 삼도 가르당 거라서네 되네 되네 땅고를 해서 하다 한 점로 누수 삼 땅고라서 점로에 걸랍시 잡여도 아주 점로 제다의 신고로 봐. 아 제가 저기 되네 점로 제다 신하대 라마를 되네 신고래. 제가 되네 연자 안 저기 개화다 디버스야 돼 간다 실라고 해서 당보지 시간 맨날 신고 말아. 제가 연자 류가 유스미고네 샬라 네버키야 돼. 아니 디버 차고 그래. 제가 셈나래 샬라 네베 삼바다 차도게 삼바다 되네기 삼노디게 아니 디버스야 돼. 지난 개화세 가려서는 아주 류가 유스미고네 샬라 펜베 차도다 샬라 펜베 개화도야 돼. 삼바 상보체 디서 개화래서 제가 되네기 개화다 안 디바 되네지 라기래 개화 되네 라기에서 모르로 지긴디 라미 모르 지는 아주 하고 그러면 라마 지기 모르 지게 맨날 아주 디싱 말와 개화 간에 실라고 그래 디바 간에 실라고 그래 점로 지나 간지 마신 되는 아주 디바를 내가 다 말하진 두고로 와 제가 되네 현상 아주 되네기 신야 되게 세대를 양아 주기 되네기 연대 하고 할 때 라마라 되는 하고 그래서
To understand in this he is the root of all attainments, the source of all goodness in this and future lives. So this then we can understand through our entire spiritual development, how it is dependent on our relationship with our teacher, or dependent on a teacher rather. For example, in the topic of refuge, it's only through relying on a teacher that we'll understand what is meant by this topic, what the objects of refuge are, how to cultivate the mind of refuge within ourselves. In other words, how to meditate on the topic of refuge. All this will only come to know through relying on our teacher. And furthermore, through to develop a good heart, to overcome all negative emotions such as jealousy and anger and pride, we'll only be able to identify what are the faults within our continuum and how to abandon them, as well as what good qualities we need to cultivate and how to do so, through relying on our teacher. Without relying on our teacher, though that knowledge will remain hidden to us. And moreover, it's not just the imparting of knowledge, but how to put that into practice in the sense of how to cultivate it within ourselves. That is also dependent on our teacher. So our desired results of becoming a kinder person, a gentler person, our desired results of abandoning our negative sides, such as our anger and our pride. This all is dependent on relying on a teacher.
lunga yusumi nyeju tamjo tsurim sungure sashi lamegi an tsurim tindis tsurim sa tindis lagre di sungure tsurim sumbaina an gariyongorasana sosolya an chi pando yungures sosoki kanga chung rugures so na shin an tsurim sumbaina tanga tsurim masongwa tene nga Geshe Thubten Rabten sheada ane ji lu ko ne shala ne ba kia da ane ji ge kuma ku ya da shen so jue ya da di ba ma ren gu ro ba ji san di ni yin za di ni ge lu nga yu su mi ko ne shan le ne be cha mong bo cha na shan le ya gang ha mong bo te so so la ya ane gang ha mong bo li go re ji san che de le sam da na ra shin ni ga la gang ha li go re di ni za la mi gi na odiji gyo mare dine jina nga zo rajin niga la kanga yung teza an rajin niga kanga seya la kharcho tsurim sungu gures jina tsurim soya ka luji lunga yisumi nyejwe de dombo gures jina nga yu ko ne shan le tsiksu sheya da gyunjwe cheya da luji ko ne kuma guya da shan yi sok che bala chigyo mare sonyo de dine ge la me kana wala dine nga zo gi dine nyamne che ta ha go yo de so so nyamne che yo de an dine ge che bala dine so so ne an che de le ne an ji dunga nyua ta kanga nyua shenle ya kanga ba che ba rai ne ti gi ya odu shine yung ko re shi ti zan de so de ne shin wa de nyam ne je shin wa de lama la de yung ko ro se.
In order to give rise to these later attainments of definite emergence and single-pointed concentration, one has to develop the foundation of ethical conduct. And again, it's only through relying on our teacher that we will come to hear about hear in an extensive way and a detailed way about the need to practice ethics or develop an ethical outlook, the benefits of developing a ethical outlook, why it's imperative to be ethical. Because it's only through relying on our spiritual friend that we'll come to understand what is virtuous, what is not virtuous, why certain activities need to be abandoned, and why others need to be cultivated. Without receiving this guidance and this training, we'll continue to talk to others in an abusive way, take advantage of others, deceive others, harm others verbally, physically, maybe even taking the lives of other beings. And in this way, we continue this path of this progression of accumulating non-virtue. And these acts that lead to the accumulation of non-virtue directly harm others, and indirectly, through the karma we accumulate, harm ourselves. And in this way, suffering is experienced by ourselves and others in this and future lives. So for this harmful behavior, for us to come to recognize this, we need to rely on a teacher. Similarly, it's through relying on a teacher that not only do we understand the faults of such behavior, but we understand what behavior leads to the cultivation of a good heart. What behavior, what way of thinking leads to the cultivation of the minds of definite emergence and eventually karma abiding too. So all of these qualities come about in dependence on relying on a teacher.
No, dine zal that's the lamegi nga zo le tsurim sungore sa lapche ja tsurim sungta lap dine jimbe nyamlen dine chegore sobe nyamlen chegore zonje nyamlen chegore tu nyamlen cheda tu la yo de nga zo gi jimba da tsurin na sobe zonje nyamlen chega de han so so chetele ina so so ni digi juya da an dine gi nyamlen juya digi lama le dine yunggodu da dine gi nyamlen chebala dine kewa chima ina yang ha zo chetele ya lamegi kal kalupna lami nyamnen cheba sungwa tene nga zo nyamnen cheba surim sungwa la tene gewa chimay na lhada migo wa toya da ane tsedeli ya lami ki kalupna nga che nga zo jimbe nyamnen cheba la tene gewa chimay na ya sosu ki tungen di ge yakbo yon ya ane suibe nyamnen ki chebo tila ane wangpo changwa lo so pa da ane chigi nubada tenpa yon ya ane zonju ge nyamnen cheba la tene gewa chimay na gewe jawa le zon ya ge ane yon ya da ane chigi sosu ki ane chigi chue lama da de je ya chue je ya go praya andina yenden dini chaza lamele dini lamegi dini nyamlen che ba kalo na wala dini nga nyamlen che ba le dini yungdu samje du chen samta che ba che de la da che hom sa che de dini sungorwa.
Further, to understand what is meant here by analytical meditation, what the objects of our analytical meditation are. So we've just spoken about how it's through relying on a teacher we'll understand what we need to abandon, why we need to abandon it, and how to do so. Furthermore, he will train us in what we need to cultivate, why we should do so, and how to do so. So we mentioned the training of ethics. Thereafter, we'll also hear about the trainings of generosity, patience, and joyous perseverance. So these trainings are crucial for bringing about happiness in this and future lives for ourselves and others, because it's through training in ethics that we stop bringing harm to the lives of others, and we create the causes to attain good rebirths in our future lives, rebirths such as a human or a god. And moreover, through training under the guidance of our teacher in generosity, cultivating the wish wanting to give, we will have an abundance of resources and good conditions in our future lives. Through cultivating, under the guidance of our teacher, the mind of patience, then in our future lives we'll have good physical health conditions, such as our sense faculties will be complete. We'll have harmonious relationships with others. And moreover, through training in the mind of joyous perseverance, then in our future lives, we will naturally delight in virtue. Our personality will be one that tends naturally towards virtue, away from non-virtue. Moreover, we'll seek out the Dharma, and when we meet the Dharma, we will delight in it, we'll be interested in it, we'll want to receive teachings and meditate on them. So all of these good qualities that will come about in this, all these good qualities that will lead to happiness in this and future lives, come about in dependence on relying on our teacher.
Dine dici da nigale lekso tamjiki juni lama le dine yungdu se do se jeba che komya da de sheba na shin an digale yang zuge lama le dine an ji lam nyam le je lam gyule ge da nyomo ba de rim gi pa ya da taba da tamjiki mbe ko wa to ya da dine ge chasa de lam dine ge nyam le nyo ya ji so so ya dine ge dokbe yun de gon ne gong du pyo ya da an che di da chewa chi me gi an ji nyam le je ko chasa lama le dine 용구도 제사 라마도 뺀 마세게 안절야 이제 개 첨보시다 자 첨보지다 매주에 첨보 휴유 등의 지레샤 제사 라마를 연된 되네기 안절야 연된 되시도 심비 라마야 대바 제지도 해야 돼 두신의 라메기 연된도 삼다제 삼다도 나중에 잘라이나 가르나 뒤로 와지 잘라도 연된 계절 휴되는 델리아 되냐지나 대바 휴실이로 와 대야고도 삼비리로 와 제사 라메기 연된도 삼다도 된 라마 뺀마서 야고레샤 라마 뺀 그는 진보다 지금 야고 슈레스 라마를 대바게디 라메 연된 통체 라마를 대바게디 라마기 연된 되니 배 야고레 선비 이체기 이체 제주도 이체에 되다 대바디 계획이 된다라 되니게 라미기 된 제공진에 두 제바제 공고 삼당고 라미 그딘디게 간스 용구 된데된데 그때 용도 와서 비게 삼로야 심주제제 심주제 제바 제고래 되네 제바 제도 라미 연된 통화도 되네 라마래 대바기기 해서 그러다 장사 라마래 대바 장나로 두 장고 그랬어 제공제 다디 되네 해서
Analytical meditation serves to develop our wisdom, our wisdom, make our mind broader and more powerful. So what we're trying to do in the context that we are talking about here is through analytical meditation, we meditate on the great benefits that come about through relying on a spiritual teacher. And this is of particular importance. So we think, as has been mentioned, we think about it's only through relying on our teachers that we get trained in what are the causes of suffering. So we get trained in how to identify the causes of suffering, and moreover how to abandon those. And in addition to this, we are trained in what are the causes of happiness and how to cultivate those. And furthermore, through relying on our teacher, we have a mentor, a role model, someone who serves as inspiration, which then guides, that encourages us to abandon what needs to be abandoned, to turn away from what should be turned away from, and cultivate the causes of happiness, cultivate the causes of happiness for this and future lives. And in this way, we attain greater happiness not only in this life, but certainly in our future lives, and this has an impact on others too. So when using analytical meditation, thinking in these ways, it serves to develop our wisdom in that we come to see the teacher as being precious. We come to value the teacher. We come to value our relationship with our teacher. And why is this so important? Well, in the world, if something is valued, if something is seen as precious, it will not be taken for granted. One will not waste the opportunity one has or disregard something that one sees as precious. And then, moreover, seeing that our relationship with our teacher, this opportunity that we have now, having come under the care of a teacher, then faith and trust and conviction in the importance of relying on a teacher will grow ever stronger within us. So that is the purpose of using analytical meditation in general, but certainly in the context here.
Member da never shindu lama lame dunga yene sawa sebi and kutin che sana. This Garson Chesa Membigi never declare men deche nele treche tango suit was. This is a member dinashi Maranzolia and the Cargos on the bed. Decha, Condo, Nyomongu, Kang Teores, Chesa did Ganga Mongoligo, Ganga Chasade, and Nyomobu Ungligor was. Chesa Dineza, member Nashin, around to Lamegi, Maranzulia, Madu, Sushin, Yamden Dice, or Ticum Gure, Denijin, Nyomo Meva Sutulis, Deniga Lamia Ganawa, Denanga, Yamden Cheodu, Mansu di Yomo di Keja Ma, and Chung Chinja, and the Chige, Setelia, and the Jitting is in Comjeting is in Toya La Sobada, then Lam Gula, then ya Jigtar, and the Tarba, the Tamjikim Boko, Toyodu, and the Nazi Kobi, Koala, Drugore. She's not Dinichasa Lama, Lamegi Dinish, and Anzulia. Dunga Joye Dundale, Dunga Seje, Tele Tarja Dundalami, Chicken House, Zewaji Swan, Masi getting Chimbushure, Sembig Lamadi, and to getting Chimbure, Salami, getting Jadida, Lamalia, Zawa Debajan, then let me getting Chisutemba said that Delia getting Chisutemba Shidua, just not getting Chisutemba, Lamamas getting Chimbure, some J. Just not Lamigi, the Nigging on the tree, the around to Yamlan Jeva, the Nilla dinner out to Dungatam Segudu, Chesa, and Tarbata Tamjiki Moko, top two, the Chesalama Bemas getting Chimbure, some J, and Luz Comiadi. Lamigi, the Shichu, Soya, Danga, Gumsen, some Taje, and Gumsen Delatin and Azuki, Tarpa Tamjiki Moko, top two days, the Lama de getting Chimbore, and be Nami getting Jadirisha.
Considering the countless ways in which he is kind to you, he is the root of all attainment, the source of all goodness in this and future lives, the doctor who eradicates the disease of mental disturbances with the medicine of the Dharma. It's through relying on a teacher that we come to understand the suffering nature of samsara and what this means. We come to understand that all the suffering and the misery that we experience comes about in dependence on our afflicted minds. These afflicted minds that lead to the accumulation of all our negative karma. Moreover, it's through, so this is likened to the illness that a patient has. The doctor is likened to the teacher. And the medicine that he prescribes, this is the solution of the Buddha Dharma that will lead to the reduction of the strength of these afflictive minds within us. It's through receiving teachings from our teacher that we come to identify the minds that cause us suffering, and we come to identify the minds that lead to the accumulation of causes for happiness. So we come then to understand how we can reduce the strength of our afflictions and how we can develop the strength of our virtuous minds. And in this way, we'll come to the point where we actually can totally eradicate all our afflictions. So seeing that this comes about only in dependence on the kindness of our teacher, we come to value him greatly. When we come to understand that freedom from suffering, the attainment of states of lasting happiness comes about in dependence on the guidance of our spiritual friend, then we will come from the very depths of our heart, we will come to value him.
Kowa thoma meba ne dabara kowa tencham cheba di gewi shinyen damba teda majawam njayang dekirin marube lens. Ta anzugi Lam Rim chimbo sona chena gewi shinyen ane tempe panyo da ma tempe nyemik samdang di go shi gore. Chisa kowa thoma meba ne dade bardo ten chamba singa do kowa lia ten cham dejo kowa la mataba je dade bardo ha de bade gare cheba re labna Nyama gewe shinyin yahuji ane jige matebaje gewe shinyin hanzuliya chue nyamlin labkengi gewe shinyin yahuji mateba re shas mate jine mateba za nyamlin je yahuji maraba gyunjik dire shas gyunjik ne de gewe shinyin ji yahuji chue dinga jing hanzuliya teba ina ya sosi di zane chue yahuji huje nyamlin yahuji majebaje lamege nyamlin dusu jeban jehore se ka nawa nashi sosuge nyamlin majebaje namya je deni lelo je di gen je ne gen dire sha je san deni yanza ma da bado ko lo ko je de di gen deni she shas gyumchen dire shas je san lama ge je lama ka nawa she nyamlin jeba inda da ko wal phaje na ta cha zo yo ko kogo야 차요 말이야. 그래서 그 마타 가지 다디 받을 하바디 gyundir에 샤시 거다.
Furthermore, although you have wandered in samsara since beginningless time, never before did you meet a spiritual teacher, or if you did meet one, you did not correctly follow their teachings, for you are not yet a Buddha. So here the meaning, so this again it's coming from the sections in the larger Lam Rims, looking at the benefits of relying on a teacher and the faults of not doing so. So the first fault that is identified is that up to this point in all our previous lives, perhaps we have never met a teacher, or if we had met one, didn't recognize them as such, didn't realize the preciousness of that opportunity that we had encountered. Or alternatively, in our past lives, we had relied on a teacher, we had been under the care of a teacher, but because of remaining under the influence of minds such as distraction, minds such as laziness, minds such as procrastination, we didn't properly follow his advice, we didn't fully apply ourselves to his spiritual instructions. And therefore, we remain bound in the states of misery. And therefore, we have not yet attained liberation from suffering. So this is a further faults of not having relied on a teacher.
다 제금 요건요 검세 되네랑 두스네 다 지금 람림 냠는 치도 개위 신용 공비게 어제 냠는 지기에 라비어도 안 두스되지 아니 개위 주스 개위 신인기 아니 연된디기 되네 진짜 개위 신인기 랍제 되네 접정어서 냠는 제바이는 알아서로 또 보여 연된디네 연구도 개위 신인 마체바이는 마아들에 땡게 람 땡게디 랍칸 메디 소소 신금면도 제가 마신과 되네 교연도 제가 gewe shin ma cheba inza ma chi gyun de ne de yongdo gewe shin cheba ina gewe shin ni laba na shin ji gan zu ge ko de ne de je go se laba na shin ga zu ge nyam ma cheba so so ya de ne yun do yun de ji mi de gyun de ne du china da gewe shin se den ba na shin so so ge nyam cheba ina so so ya che de le ina ya so ji wa yo da che wa chi ma ina ha da mi ko ba top du du china shin ne zhu ne shin ne ru ding ye zin ya top du du lam gyu la ji du du na ta ba da tham ji gi me ko ba top du du china de gewe shin le den ba le de yongdo wa sambe de ne sam ta ne de ne gewe shin de pe ma se ge chim bo china za chim bo shu chi re do wa de ne za da gewe shin de pe ma se ya ko re sa de le ya de ba ji zu ge wa da na ga zu ge 确实样的样都给微信确实呢啊这个确实的但把都说出个原点的新话我呢给微信你个真是本嘛是个人全部因甚至其实都真的结果有个呢三大是公司的给微信电视个呢接两人接他的 지난 두 뒤에 진행한 저기 기위 신이 연대다 덴베 pai 마드나 강 예미 가능하게 연구 덴바이나 연대 가능하게 연구 판단 가능하게 연구를 지난 디네 인자 라마데 자침보레샤 기침보레샤 선비 디네 인자 라마라 대바기야다 소수게 냠는 라미스의 취가지 휴식가지 좀 디네 신바데 라미 게딘리에서 라마라 게딘 지수자야 언두스네 삼다 고미야디 두신다데 디시 당보시야디 공방에서 제공지권이요 공부자세 제공지요 공난이 되네래다.
What we're seeing in these sentences, the first few sentences in this section, is the presentation of this analytical meditation that we encourage to engage in this topic. The analytical meditation then is primarily about the benefits that come from relying on a teacher and the faults that come from not relying on a teacher. And we've been hearing now that through relying on a teacher, one will come to understand the Buddha Dharma, one will come to understand our situation in some cyclic existence and why we are in this suffering situation, as well as come to know all the techniques for attaining liberation. And we're reflecting further through the use of analytical meditation, then confidence will grow within us that if we follow his advice, if we follow his advice precisely as it's presented, spiritual progression will follow. A transformation of a way of thinking will follow. If the Dharma that is imparted, if this is learnt, if the meditation steps are followed, then my way of thinking will change. Spiritual progression will follow. So meditating like this, coming to see the great benefits of relying on a teacher, leads us to see him as precious and value him. Likewise, we'll come to understand the faults that follow from not relying on a teacher.
나 신인데 저 겁나 제공기냐 겁나 되네 겁니다. 그래서 나 되네 기위 신인 검요도 갑라 나 기위 신인데 자침불에서 겁니다. 지금 먼저 디서 기위 신인데라 가실라 라마 망보요레스. 네 라마 가실라 라마 뉴뉴요레시래. 그래서 나 라마 망보요 바다 라마 뉴뉴네 거리야레스. 근데 녀마이나 먼저 Lama Sangpua said, Tezula de la Lama Mambuyo, Lama Mambu. And then Geshe Thubten Rabten said, Lama Nyuma to Lama to your Mares. Chesa Dini Zada, Lama Mambuyo and Yagarebe, Lama Nunu and Yagare says, that chicket Diwara chicket Ligorova.
So we've been looking thus far at how to meditate on the benefits of having a spiritual teacher. So the question then may follow for one, so what happens in the case that in my case I maybe have a few teachers, or I maybe have many teachers, which is better? Well, there's a story here about someone called Sampowa, and he had many teachers, whereas Donpa, he only had a few. So the question was, so which of them was following the better technique? The one who was relying on many teachers, Sampowa, or Donpa, who was only relying on a few?
ane Geshe ane poto wa se na Geshe kombo wa ni tu se kamen na je adal sosu gi dangbo la ji lama la ya ji deba da de ni gi lamsang lo gyu cho cho da lama ya wo den tu me ba na lama nyu yu ne ya ga yo res chesa da ji gi sosu gi deba da deba ma lo ba da lama den tu ne lama mang bo yo ne ni ji go res chesa de ni za se ne ane Geshe Thubten Rabten an Geshe kombo ni gi chesa sosu gi lo ma je be ne ga lo ma jang lo ya wo jang ma tu ba lama la ya gyun tong cho cho da lama ya deba ne ji ge ya wo ji ma deba de yun wo ji ma deba lo cho cho cha ba yin ba na de ne de lama nyu yu de ne ya ga yo res mo re je.
So the answer from Geshe Thubten was, Well, this depends on the individual student, what their disposition is like, their personality is like. If they are someone who tends towards finding faults in others and criticizing others, and therefore finds it difficult to rely with a trust and conviction on a qualified teacher, then for such a person it's better that they have fewer teachers because of their disposition. For others, though, who are able to rely stably with trust and conviction on qualified teachers, then for them it would be fine for them to have many teachers.
Lama Geshe Yueba in the and the Ganis Gomgura, Lama Chik Gomgure, Lama Chasan Gomgure Labna, the Lama Chasan Chigware, Lama Lea, Susugi, Lama Tensibi, Lama della Yadugi, Yawa Kava Yomare, Kava Chigomare, Kava Chigware, Yende Chike Yadu Kava, Di Lama Dingi, Yare, Di Lama di Skiore, some Davana, Ditigomare, Lamale, Chibuchian, some down, which is a Lama Chasangi Yende, Diniki, some Dadi, Lama Chasangi Tango.
And furthermore, then when one, those who find themselves in the situation that they have several teachers or more than one teacher, when they meditate on the kindness of the teacher and the benefits of relying on a teacher, how to do so when you have more than one teacher. So here one should guard one's mind of thinking of, oh, this one has these qualities, but in other areas he's got a few faults. But where he has faults, this other teacher only has qualities. So we might need to guard our mind from going in, from criticizing one teacher and then praising another. If we have more than one teacher, we should see them all as being equal in terms of qualities, not seeing one as better, one as worse. So having more than one teacher is, of course, good to do, is fine to do. But one should guard one's mind of thinking, oh, this one's a bit lower, this one's a little higher, but rather seeing them as equal.
Lama tanga sangye yidam sum ngo yerme samdang konggo gore dine za lama susugi lama tensewe lama di chasan ta sangye kungo yimba ta chasan jigba yimba samdang gore.
So this is similar to whatever practice one is engaging in. One hears that one should see one's Lama and Buddha and the Buddha and Yidam as being of one essence, as being indistinguishable. So that we hear in many different contexts, and it's certainly the case here too. One should be relating to one's varying teachers as being in essence indistinguishable, as being of the same entity or of the same essence.
And Lama Shinga the new Sumro Chetan, the Nigga Lama Mambo Yoba in Chike. Namuna to get Zawi Lama Tensa, Zawi Lama Gongore said, Sungorwa, Zawi Lama Gongore said. She's a Zawi Lama said in Anzui, Kanichi Labguri Lamna, Dondala, Chidang Zawi Lama Labdu, Zawa Sedu, Anzugi, Zawi Lama Lama Tambo, Tiagi Lama de la Zawi Lama, Tambo Lama di Zawi Lama Tambo di Dini, but Diter, Sumba Diter said, go ahead, the Zawi Lama said, Lambo Tambo, Tiagi Lama de la Zawi Lama said, go check on it.
So that's one important point to make, that if one has more than one teacher, one should see them as being indistinguishable, of the same essence. Then when one meditates on one's root Lama, so what does this term then, root Lama, mean? Well, there are different ways one can understand it. So one way is the root Lama is one's very first teacher. So that would be your very first teacher can be referred to as your root Lama.
Lama 조 소설이 조 라마 조세 자와세 대징한 저기 당보 거봐 다 저기 라마세 대 라마 나네 조 라마 망보 나네 라마 조세 대 고메 조세 다 라마 조세 대 간데 직디에 연대 약쇼지나 현대 되게 对연대 교하로 대 되게 캐버 유비기 레베스는 디 말에서 조세 대 조세 대 가르스는 소소라한기 넘길라 소소량이야 지금 그린 체쇼게 라마디 라마 조세지 와 소소라한기 왕슈야다 아니지 맹아 왕로 맹아 슈야다 최망부 슈세게 라마 다 소소리야 최망부 라마진에 마쇼 슈세게 라마 조로지 다디 야네 양도지 야네 양도슈 대지게 제디 다 지게 라마 조세 책으로 조세 디책으로 지상 라마 조세 자와샤디
So that is one meaning of root in root Lama. So the very first teacher that one has, and then from this root one grows and develops and then has other teachers, but one's very first teacher would be referred to as one's root teacher or root Lama. Another way to understand the root teacher, this term root, is either, as we've just heard, first, or the second way to understand it would be main, so main teacher. So the second meaning of a root Lama would be one's main Lama, one's main teacher. So what then makes someone one's main teacher? Again, one must be very clear. We're not talking, you should not understand this in, well, this person is my main teacher because their qualities are the greatest. Because if one thinks like that, it implies one's other teachers, their qualities are lesser than one's main teacher. And this is a mistake. We should be seeing our teachers as being of the same essence, just like the Buddha, the Lama, the Yidam are of the same essence. So rather, who would one think of then amongst one's several teachers as being one's main teacher or root Lama? So here you can think of the teacher who has shown you the greatest kindness. And the teacher who has shown you the greatest kindness then, it makes sense that they would be your root Lama, your main teacher. And what is meant by the teacher who has shown one the greatest kindness? Well, that would be someone who's perhaps given initiations, who's certainly given a lot of teachings, who's given one guidance, someone that you've been in their presence of again and again, you've met them again and again. So this then would be, so such a person then would be suitable to see as your main teacher.
Lama gomdu kabla nganzugi da lama chik nganzugi mikpa cheche gomdu ane chik nganzugi da lama chik mikpa che gomdu kabla da lama shenda dige chasan lama digi ngo yin chik chikya yin lama digi namchu da ngo jiba res ko namchu re ma do lama ko namba dhamara kha te ma do ngo da lama da so gari lama gomdu be ne di lama di da ngo jiba chikya yin ngo jiba yin sam ko mo
When one meditates on one's teacher, as we've been describing here previously, then one will visualize one's Lama before oneself. And if one has one teacher, very easy, you visualize that one teacher. If you have several teachers, just visualize one teacher, but know that they are all of the same essence. So we've been saying they are of the same essence now many times. So what this means is they are indistinguishable in terms of qualities. One is guarding one's mind from thinking, oh, this one's high Lama, these ones are low Lamas. That is a mistake. They're all one's teachers who show one great kindness and of incredible importance and value in one's life. So therefore, one sees them as indistinguishable in terms of their qualities. One sees them as emanations of each other, of the Buddha. So therefore, one doesn't discriminate between them in terms of lesser and higher, or greater and lesser. But one may only visualize one, but know that in essence, he is indistinguishable from all one's teachers.
Ore da dine zadi zewi lama shede namjun so so rang ge lama chigle zu mi che zo nyamle gom nyamle che na zo samda di lama shanda chasang di lama di ngo yin sembe ge thone ma zu samda di zewi lama gom se di che goro beneda di nguro idam na le ma zu idam mangbo yor da ane idam la nga jugi idam di yaga re di da idam di kyo re la yo marwa sangye di yaga yo re sangye di kyo yo re dine yo marwa pena 저기 지게 셰럽 투비 갑라 아니 제주 갑라 지준 젬베야 미체 지준 젬베야 조치 공고로 이담 지준 젬베야 조치 공명도 갑라 아니 어디 젠데시다 아니 지게 샹다디게데 상예디게 교와레 삼담 디니 디고 말와 그래서 디니 연자 코조 공디 갑라 소소 내가 가르 공비 갑이네 근데 젬베야 조치 공명도 상예 조디 이담도 조 젬베야 지지 셰럽기 두비도 조 젬베 이담 젬베야 딘 두고로와 진짜 젬베야 다야지 야 닝지 두비 갑라 야 냠린 체바이나 지경아도 파바 젠데시 조 이담제 그도 아니 조 파바 젠데시고 마다 야 지든 젬베야 디게 파바 젠데시를 교와레섬 다요 말 진짜 오직 바레스 진짜 맨 젬베야 곰디 갑라 젠데스다 차나도 상예 차상 오직 디 라미게 랑게 라마세네 젬베야 젬베다 랑 라마 젬베야레 젬베야 랑 라마레 제 차상 랑 라마 디게다 미 남바지 라마 디게 차상 랑게 젬베야게 남추리에서다 차상 오 젬베야다 지바 랑 라마다 오 젬베야 지바 상예 탐지기 뭐다 젬베야 지바레 삼다지 고명도 차상 조디 곰세 믹스 곰세디 가르 곰세 제진 젬베야 그 군남바딜 사답지 가서 고무에다 디가서 조 이담디 젬베야 송제네 곰고레 차상 디고도 난 상계 차사다 아니 뭐 찍발에 삼당 공고마도 상계디게 어조디데 안산다디 유연디 교래 삼단은 상계를 윤된 시중요 말로 디나신 저기 다 난주마 냠네 지류갑라 참지비갑라 조 난주마 공고와 난주마 공고도 이담이 조 난주마 지 공고래 지사다 랑길라마디야 난주마다 오 예메 삼당 공고로 되네 공명도 갑라 지사 난주마 조 공명도 다 샹다디기 교아래 삼단의 지고 말와 지사 난주마 이담이 조 공지 네 상기 오 샹다 디기 차상 라마 랑기 라미오 지베 난주마 디기 남주리에 삼주 공고로 지사 디네자 자위 라마 세데 소소 곰디 라미기 랑라 게딘 체위 라마 곰디 내갑기다 곰바이나 데네 자위 라마 가르사다 곰다디 조 곰고로와데 진짜 마도 라마를 연된 체쇼디 최디 디 자위 라마레 디 전다디게 아니 지 라마디 연된 교아레 삼다베나 디 차기 다다샤고 말에.
So to make this important point very clear, I'm sure you'd agree that it would sound very strange that if one were meditating on compassion, for example, and so one would generate the visualization of Chenrezig and turn towards Chenrezig for inspiration and blessings in one's then meditation on compassion. But just because one is relying on and turning towards the Buddha Chenrezig, it doesn't imply that the Buddha Manjushri is lower or Buddha Shakyamuni himself is lower. That would be ludicrous. Similarly, if one was trying to cultivate one's wisdom and visualized Manjushri and turned to Manjushri with supplications and requests for blessings that one's meditation on emptiness would progress well, that doesn't mean that one thereby looks down on Chenrezig or Buddha Shakyamuni. One sees all the Buddhas, all the Yidams, as being indistinguishable, as being emanations of each other. And similarly with one's root Lama. So we heard earlier that one sees one's root Lama, one's teacher, one's the Buddha, one's Yidam, the meditational deity, as being indistinguishable or indivisible. Perhaps indivisible is better. So this is what we need to apply if we have more than one teacher as well. So we visualize our root Lama, and we perhaps only visualize our root Lama, but we know that in essence he's indistinguishable, indivisible from all our other teachers. And we see one as an emanation of another. So just like if one is engaged in a tantric practice, say that of Vajrayogini, then one visualizes Vajrayogini, but one knows that Vajrayogini is indistinguishable from one's Lama, from whom one received the Vajrayogini initiation and teachings. So one sees the Yidam and one's Lama as indistinguishable. That doesn't mean that one's other teachers one looks down on, or other deities one looks down on. One rather sees them as emanations of each other, of the same essence, as indivisible. So this is how we relate to the various Buddhas, the various Yidams or meditational deities, and how we relate to our varying teachers as well.
Sangye la yadugi kebar yunden chishung kebar yombar yinaya da sangye la yunden chishung kebar meba yinaya da ngāngzul ya susul ya kamna meba le dunje chu labia le pando chishung kebar yungorwa da jisa lama la ya yunden chishung da ane yadu kebar me na yang jik ngāngzul tunjen da gohawi chane lama jiksene chu shuya mongboraya da lama jiksene chara jikni shuya maraba da dene go maraba da dene yungorwa 마도 된디기 마도 셰 연된 개발당 안지게 도바 치중의 개발 만주기 라미기 돌려야 되니게 삼다메레 다데 가베가블 소소야 낭탕라야 젤라메디 연된 체로 나야당 라메디 연된 중화로 나야 소소 낭탕라 나와라는 용고래 이내 대수 삼다데 소소기 나 마다베 왕겠는 거마도 라마 집지기야 뭐 집바인 상계당 뭐 예매 라마 연된 차상 개발매에서 먹고 거래 세상 수수에 되는 낭탕라 되는 난고래 이내 소소기 레 마다베 균이 왕겠는 거래서 되니게 되는 거 라마 가시 소소 나달이야 배 지게 연대 시라 매버로 다 되니게 라마 가시야 지 연대 야고 예버로 나야다 지게야 라마 가시야 지마배 송케바 시우에단 라마 가시 시라 송야기 송케바라 메디아로 되니게 소소레 나야 지 용구로와 제사디 소소레 나야디 다 라미기 양하도 뒤에 값을 배비게 안에 값다 뒤래 뒤네 라미기 마 아니 말아줄이야 제바 되는 안 제가 돈당 돈에 개발 연구래서 제가 돈나래 대 소수기 전에 레다마다 돈에 소소 낭수의 개발 연구래서 온두 삼당 공면 삼다에마도 어디디 라마디 시우야 호시스다 라마디 연된 체르샤 디시라 숨면디 연된 총아르샤 섬야다 데네 삼다에 메레다.
For the varying Buddhas and Yidams, we know that they're being enlightened beings. All good qualities have been developed to a point of perfection, and all faults have been completely eliminated. So understanding that, it's very clear that there is no difference between the varying Buddhas and Yidams in that their qualities are perfected and their faults are completely eradicated. And so this is similar with our teachers. So some teachers, we in certain circumstances, we've received particular kinds of teachings or initiations from them, and in other situations, from other teachers, we've received different teachings or initiations. So there are some kinds of differences there that came about due to the time or the situation. Likewise, some teachers show certain qualities, others show differing qualities. So this, how to relate to that then? So similar to how we would relate to the Buddhas and the Yidams as having perfected their qualities and completely eradicated their faults, and whilst they appear to us in differing forms, in differing ways, and serving in differing forms in differing ways, similar to that, we relate to our different teachers. So whilst we know that some of them show certain qualities and others show other qualities, it's not that we should be, that is fine to understand and to see, but not to think that one is greater or has greater qualities and the other lesser qualities. That is a mistake. Rather, what we should understand is due to our karma, as well as the time we were with this particular teacher or the situation at that time, that teacher was able to appear to us in a particular way and show particular qualities to us. And at a different time and different place, a different teacher would be able to show differing qualities to us. So we can accept that we have observed different things, or things have appeared to us as different. But we should remind ourselves that that is where the difference lies, in the appearance. That these are these qualified teachers, we see them as indistinguishable one from the other and from the Buddhas, and that is not, in terms of their qualities, that is not where the difference lies. The difference lies in terms of the time, that particular situation, and our own impure karma, and thereby how they could appear to us. So that is how we should relate to our various teachers that we may have.
Samlodi Anzolia, Yoyaki, Bene, Nanzule, Dambo Zola, and Chiki, or the Lama in the chair, Samada, the Lama in the church, and the Yoma Siva Marwa, the Ninza, the Garasene, Sosuing on the Chiba Tauku, said that Tauku Jimden Garesung or Nanzulia, the Yunden chair, Lama, Yunden Cheshun, Tasovana. Lama in the Chua said the Deva Shuche Madling Mare, the little Marasan, or the Yunden Shera Mevaru, some Gorwa, Chisan Delia, Deva Shucheta, and the Yunden Shera Mevari Lamna, the Lama de Sanjung water to Maracas, Sanja said the Yunden Chasan Chasan Pansage, Yunden Chasan Topsan Sanjirwa. Chisan Dinita, Lama di Yunden Chua, some Tawena, the Sanjung water to Mare, the Sanja some two Maracas, I call Yunden. The Lama de Lunda Chua and Sanji Lunda Chua, some such thing. She's a Sanji water to Mare. She's a Sanji water motorbana. The Casore Lama Ranzuki, Lama let Devachida, Deva Chua, but Ligo Marwa. She's a Deva Chua, but Ligo. She's a Chiquichigan Tawa, the Carasan. Tangaranzu Lama Digi, Sanji said, and Azuku, J2 Mar, Mevanza. Sanji in Namtru, Anzulia, and the Chi Tinke, Anzul Lam Dunkendi, and Anzu mean number 20, Peshevadi, and Sanji in Namtru, some Jukungora, some to the Lama, the Sanji Namjukungore, Chisnati Gongoza, Sanji da Lama, Idem said, or Yelme, Chipichigan, Yendel Masona, Chipichigan, now number Midoa in there, Yenden Chipare, some Sosugi, Mwene, they have a dinner Jango or the Angele.
For beginners such as ourselves, to see varying teachers as being the same in terms of their own qualities, that is difficult for us because we do still very much grasp at things existing in the way that they appear to us. So it is very difficult for us to conceptualize this, let alone to have that permeate our way of thinking. We're much more habituated to seeing some teachers as greater and others as lesser. To overcome this, though, we need to understand the faults of this way of relating to our teachers. Because if we do see our teachers as, let's say, a graduated level of qualities, then those teachers that we see as being lesser, we're going to have far weaker trust and conviction in them. So if we have, on the one hand, we think, oh, yes, all my teachers are emanations of the Buddha, but this one's a bit faulty, then the way we rely on the teacher's advice, or to put it another way, the impact that the teacher's advice or teachings can have on one is greatly reduced. Rather, one needs to, rather the way to relate to the teachers, and we do this in meditation, is understand that the omniscient Buddhas would only trust their emanations to leading suffering sentient beings to the state beyond suffering. So therefore our teachers on the path, therefore our teachers who guide us in the cultivation of paths within us, it's suitable to see them as emanations of the Buddha. In the same way that we hear in the other meditation practices, that we see the Lama, the Yidam, and the Buddha as being indivisible, as of the same essence. This is how we should be relating to all our teachers, seeing them as emanations of the Buddha. And depending on the time and the situation, they may appear to us in a particular way, but their qualities are the same, when they are emanations of the Buddha. So this is the way to train our mind in meditation, coming to see our teachers as being indivisible.
Dene zada lama chasang da sangye da lama idam sangye ngo ye me chasang yun de jiba ta gores so so mane de jiba re sam gores jine jang yong du ya del ya ji ada lama ji gi chue da me tin bi gi le ga ji jawa ji pa je la ba ina da di je go re be lamna di je go ma re la re 가서네 다디 상기 모았다 그래서 이내 남의 디기 최다 모든 비 결혼 어제 심진 디기 수요쇼사다 되니게 단직 최다 미팅 비 자와지 송와이나 다디 가르 삼당 거래라노 어 달라미데 텐데 수요 마레스타 소소기 레 마다 왕게 소소를 디네 낭는 거래서 이내 달라미 라마게 꽤 말해 소소 레 마다 난 거래서 어 두스치네 삼당 거래지래 직 되네 samdaje ane legade ane je hoyo mare cheza di sangye jumnen de rang song gyore da de ko chue mai ba ma wani do bar cha se sangye jumnen de lama yi chue da midin bi jawa che sho labna di la je ho mare di pa sha ho je che gyo ma di ma je ba na lama ka dan kai bi di ba sa ge le sen di ba ngu mare je lama ka dan kai bi di ba ngu mare ane de ni ge din za anda ma je ba na da lama ge din so shu pe lama pe du je re she ja ka dan yo be sen dian na gyo mare di ta wa no so so di ba sa go che sa di so so ge lama ge so so ya de ni ge so so ge din na wa ji thong wa so so le ma da be ong ge de sam je du sam dang go re che de che sa di samdana di tene cheza lama sangye de jiba dawa da lame ka nasi tam che da sangye ka re da di che ma che ne da sangye ka dan de diba chagre be se ne di chag ma re se re.
So in these now several segments, it's been said that we should be seeing that our teachers and the Buddhas and the meditational deities are indivisible. They're of the same essence. They're one's an emanation of another. And if one has more than one teacher, see them too as being of the same essence. But now, what if a teacher gives you advice or explicitly tells you to do something that is non-virtuous, that is against, that is contrary to the Dharma? For example, to kill sentient beings. So here, through what we've heard up to this point, this would be like the Buddha directly telling one to do something contrary to his teachings, and that seems somewhat strange. So the way to relate to such a situation is to think that most probably the teacher did not say this, it was just through my own impure karma I heard it in this way, or alternatively, if it was directly said, it was so as to purify my negative karma. By merely hearing this instruction to do something unethical, that was done to purify my negative karma, because my teacher only wants to lead me to a state freed of suffering. My teacher does not want me to follow this advice, but wants me to not follow this advice. And then, at times like that, we continue to act as students of the Buddha, and we follow the Buddha's advice. And the Buddha's advice was, when we receive an instruction that is contrary to the Dharma, we decline to follow. We politely decline to follow. So that was explicitly said by the Buddha. When advice comes that is contrary to the Dharma, one does not follow that advice. And if one finds oneself in such a situation, then it's important to think that one is only in such a situation due to one's karma, and this is the skillful means from one's teacher to enable one to purify that karma. Thinking like that, one will not engage in, one will not follow this negative advice and accumulate negativity. Moreover, one won't criticize one's teacher and create negativity. Rather, one will be thankful that one was given this advice not to follow, so as to purify one's karma. So this would be a skillful way to respond in such a situation.
Ore, da dine zadiri nganzu di shingin di tsu chebom ki tohne samdana di deji sheba najin da nganzu ki da sosu ki yunde juya da lama la dine yungu ba samda da lama di ki chimburi saya da lama liya deba che dine da samje tamji ki dundu sangyo koba da chik toba da nge lama ki ka tsushin di dine che dine ki lama ka trupche dine lami ki nyamlen ka de che sewa de ngzu ki chachu sem da tong yu tu bi shera lo su nyamlen che ban sumba na shin ji nyamlen che che sang yu ko ba ji ne ke to ba ji yin se be sam da ngzu di da do sam da ji lami ki yun de da lami ki din de pa se sam du che gom che che ba che de le de ba shu sher da ya da ki din de da an de le de ne an de lama de ba de sang yu ko ba sem je tam ji ki de sang yu ko ba 지 교보교고 토바 뉴어뉴어 토바 지긴 셈베게다 되네게 제딩 아주기 내 디링이 롭산디게다 삼다나를 되네 샤거로
To briefly summarize what we've looked at tonight then. So we've spoken about the need to meditate on the benefits of relying on a teacher and the great kindness that a teacher shows us. Through a teacher coming into our lives, the great benefits that will come through relying on such a teacher. And we do so as to generate conviction and faith in the teacher, as well as to value this opportunity that we have in this relationship that we have formed. And we do this so as to strengthen our conviction to follow his advice, through valuing the relationship we have with our teacher, valuing this opportunity we have to receive his advice and guidance. The stronger that mind is, the stronger the wish will be to learn what has been taught and then to follow the meditation steps that have been given. And where we've been advised to how to meditate on, for example, bodhicitta, and how to develop the wisdom realizing emptiness, the stronger our conviction in our teacher, the stronger will be our wish to utilize this opportunity well and to cultivate these precious minds of bodhicitta and the wisdom realizing emptiness. And in this way, through relying on our teacher with faith and with sincerity, the attainment of Buddhahood itself will rapidly approach. So we'll finish here then for tonight. It's a little bit late, but if you have